awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing it. He had a big touchdown run in the middle of practice that was impressive. Hoping the whole world can see that. His name was Joseph, and I don't remember his last name, but we'll figure it out sometime. Well, it was the last practice where we had some competitive drills, and I thought everybody finished great. Even running at the end, a lot of guys giving great effort. And I can't ask for much more than we got these first few days of bowl practice. Coaches, players, everybody really had a lot of enthusiasm and did their jobs well. And part of the reason why I gave them a break yesterday was because of the job they were doing. And then we came back today, and I was a little concerned about how that might go after having a break in the action, and they came back and did great. So tomorrow we'll spend about a little more than an hour working some scout team stuff. We'll do a 1-minute drill. We actually worked on our long field goal attempt that comes up short, and then somebody catches it. And they try to score.
Who's returning that?
Yeah, well, I can't. It's private information.
Okay.
But, yeah, I don't want to give the scout away back too much. But it was very, very interesting. Knowing what was going to happen, kind of telling them on the front end what was going to happen, and trying to watch those guys put two-hand touch on the return man was very interesting.
Does that change the personnel some to make sure you have a couple more athletes out there on the long field goal?
You could, but then you might get it blocked. You still got to protect. And you're still hopefully kicking a kick that your guy can make. But if he mishits it, just a little on the longest of attempts, it'd be bad. I was watching. I don't know why. I just had some time. I watched a TV copy of us in LSU last year, and just remembered that Colin did was it 55-yard or whatever, and he drills it. But there's a guy back there, one of them two stud return men. And I doubt very seriously we'd have got that guy on the ground, especially not really being conscious of it and all that kind of thing. But if I remember correctly, that was the direction that the wind, it was a little bit farther than the range he said he could make it in pregame, but but the wind had died down from pregame, so I'm thinking, I think he could make it. And thankfully he did, because it would have easily cost the game if he didn't get it done.
Is that one of those things too, like
What's
is that one of those things like as a coverage team? I mean, you have to almost prepare yourself every time the guy's going to bring it out. I mean,
Yeah.
because the only other time I've seen that was, I think Hester did the NFL.
Well, we had a game where it happened.
Georgia Southern last year.
Well, no, was it Georgia? It might have been Georgia Southern. It was either Georgia Southern or what, Buffalo, was it?
No, it was Georgia Southern
Georgia
late in
Southern,
the year.
yeah. And we got them out of bounds, but it was like,
35, 40 yards, I think.
yeah, I mean, oh yeah, it was scary. But yeah, you've got to. I mean, I don't know if every time you kick a field goal, you start thinking coverage, but if it's after a certain range, you got to make everybody conscious of it.
How many times have you practiced that season?
Since I've been in Georgia?
No, this season.
Since I've been in Georgia?
Oh, yeah.
Once. Once. I'll be honest with you, we didn't touch him, not with two hands. We touched him with one hand. One guy got one hand. See, you really can't tackle a guy with one hand. He goes, if I'd have grabbed him, I'd have got him. I said, well. But, it was interesting. Scared the heck out of me. I don't know about the long attempts now.
You think they'll rethink that? Do you think coaches in general will rethink that?
Well, I think everybody, obviously you can't, in everybody's conscience, you better think about it and try to prepare for it. But I'll say this, if we had a game that we're down by 3, well, if you're down, I guess the question is if it's a tie, do you do it? If you're down, you got to kick it. It doesn't matter if he returns it right at the end of a game. But, that LSU kick we had wasn't at the end of the game. It was in the middle of the game. I mean, so do you do it or not? And I just think if you believe your guy's got the range, you kick it. And and you do take the risk. You know, you hope that you can get the guy on the ground, but it's hard to get a really good athlete on the ground with the guys that are protected on that team. Your best shot is your holder, kicker, maybe your wings. Maybe your snapper has some experience of snapping the ball and trying to cover a punt type thing. But it's different.
Mark, what has to happen for your secondary to get better going forward?
Yeah, well, I mean, we just got to put together. We got to make a play first, then we got to have a series, you know, that goes well, and a couple series, and a half, a game, you know, where you just start making plays, you start getting better, you start gaining confidence. But you know, really, we have not. You know, we didn't see that. I didn't see that throughout the year. I mean, there's some work obviously that's got to be done. And you know, we're a team, and we there's a lot of things that go into it. You know, putting pressure on a passer. You know, a lot of guys get interceptions because D linemen bat balls and pressure a quarterback and all that kind of thing, or you stop the run good enough as a unit to put guys in you know, third and long situations or passing situations and things like that where plays are being made. So, but you know, we got a ways to go. We were very young. We were very inexperienced, and we took some lumps. And you know, hopefully we've learned a lot. I hope to see improvement from the last game to this game. They've been working hard. They've been working hard. I got to give them that.
The flip side of that, forgive me if you've already answered this, but what about Bo's secondary and guys like Jean-Baptiste and other guys they have back there?
Yeah, that's really the most experienced part of their defense coming back is their DBs, and they do have some real talented guys. I think you have to do what you do, though. I think you got to run what you run. You got to try to attack the coverages, not so much the personnel. And sometimes you feel like if there's a guy that you think just can't match up very well at all, then you got to try to take advantage of that. But a lot of times you're just trying to look at the scheme and run the route you think have the best chance of having success, and guys just got to win. And you know, if a ball is well placed, it's almost impossible to intercept it. If you put it in the right spot, the DB can't be in front of you, behind you, on that side of you. You know, he's got to be somewhere. So wherever that DB is located, it's the responsibility of the quarterback to put the ball where the receiver has the best shot at catching it, not the DB. So no matter how good a DB is, if you throw the ball in the right spot, he may be able to break it up, but never, be able to pick it or something like that is tough to do. And you complete a lot of balls in tight coverage. We've completed a lot of balls in tight coverage over the years. But it has to do with guys really running precision routes and quarterbacks having the time to see it and put it all in. But they're good. They're very good in the back end.
Mark, it's kind of a question that comes up this time every year, but is any of the younger players, more inexperienced guys, jump out to you this week in bowl practice?
You know, we only did one 8-play drive the other day. We're really short to really have some scrimmaging like we usually do with young guys. We don't have enough guys to do it, and we really don't even. It's D-line where we have the most issue. But one guy that stood out to me was last couple of days is Uriah LeMay, a young guy, just catching the ball. Is he running every route just right? Is he knowing exactly how to line up? Is he running the routes just the way they ought to be run? He's got a ways to go there, but just guys snatching the ball, a couple times in traffic. Got the ingredients to be pretty good if you can really hone his skills and really learn what to do. He stood out to me a little bit. Bellamy, I think, has got a chance to be pretty good. I like what I see in Kimbrough.